Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Fours or Dave here. Welcome back to another video. Today is my first Battlefield 2042 video, and I'm really excited to start making videos for this game. I kind of made the decision after watching the trailer for the game and also going back and playing Battlefield 4 a bit more recently, as well as just spending a lot of time on the subreddit and just really getting hyped up for this game. I just decided, you know what, I want to make some videos on this in the lead up to it, and then when the game comes out, actually on the game. Warzone is kind of being a bit more stale at the moment. Not to say I'm not making videos on it anymore. I definitely am. I'm still enjoying the game. We've got a new season coming out soon. But on the side, Battlefield is building a lot of hype, both for myself and for a lot of Battlefield fans, and so I feel like I'd be missing out if I didn't try and make some videos on it, so today is the first one. And so today we're going to be focusing on the game modes that have been revealed so far for Battlefield 2042. We've had some that have been basically completely revealed, apart from actual gameplay and like really nitty-gritty details, and then there's some that we have very little info for, but that we've had some leaks about, and we're going to discuss that today. I'm going to give my opinions, what I think I'd like from the game, and overall we're just going to have a conversation. Hopefully I won't ramble on too much, which I usually do with these. I've actually already recorded this video once, and I've gone back because it just took too long, so we're going to try and keep focused, and we're going to get through this. So if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure that you subscribe down below, comment and like the video. It really helps in the YouTube algorithm getting this video out there. I want to get a conversation going about Battlefield 2042. I know everyone's hyped, and I'd really like to talk to some of you guys. If you want to get involved in more conversation, follow me over on Twitter as well, because I'll be posting daily random bits and pieces that I find and just getting conversations about this game, because I'm really hyped and I want to talk about it with as many people as possible. So currently in Battlefield 2042, we have had 4 game modes semi-revealed, and they are split currently across 3 playlists, and the playlists basically define the style of game that we're going to be playing. So let's start off with the first playlist, which has 2 game modes in it currently: All Out Warfare. All Out Warfare is basically going to be your creme de la creme classic Battlefield experience, and the 2 game modes that we have had revealed are ones that we all know and love: Conquest and Breakthrough. So let's start off with Conquest, the quintessential Battlefield experience. I remember back in the day playing Battlefield 2 on my old PC and playing Conquest. Going around, capping the flag, jumping in a tank, shooting some people. Conquest has always felt almost like a sandbox style experience. You get to go anywhere you want on a map. If you've never played a map before and you just want to explore, you can go into Conquest, go and capture random flags, have some fun with your team. You can also play it very, very try-hard if you have a lot of kind of squad mates. You want to really try and push together and try and make an impact on the map. There's a lot of different ways to play Conquest. I think it overall feels like it can be quite a casual mode, but it has enough room for people who are really trying to be able to kind of flex their muscles a bit as well. Conquest is having a couple of changes moving into Battlefield 2042 that I wanted to cover here. And I think it's really, really positive changes that they're going for. And if they didn't go for these changes, we could have had some problems. So this is really off the back of the fact that the maps and the player counts for Battlefield 2042 are expanding. We are next gen now. If you have a PC or you have a PS5, Xbox Series X, couldn't remember the name of the Xbox for a second there, then you're going to be getting access to the much larger games. If you are on an older console, which I know a lot of you still are, getting hold of new consoles is pretty difficult at the moment, then you will be limited to only 64 players, I believe, and smaller style maps. Still going to be big because it's Battlefield, but you're not going to be getting access to those huge maps that everyone else is getting access to. Kind of sucks, but we don't want another Cyberpunk scenario where the game just doesn't run. So yeah, that's what it's going to be. But we're focusing today on the 128 player games on these massive maps. There are already people on the subreddit who are breaking down these maps and figuring out how big they are. Maybe I'll do a video on that when some more information comes out. But Conquest is having some changes. So previously, Conquest was, you had the full map, you had about 5 flags, A, B, C, D, and E, and then either team would be contesting those flags, trying to get them captured for their team, and holding those flags would get you more points or reduce the tickets on the enemy team until one team won. We're having a little bit of a difference here. So instead of individual flags, every one of those flags is basically going to now be a sector. And within a sector, or like an area of the map, you're going to have like 3 or 4 objectives. So the Conquest map is going to have so many objectives to fight over. And if you manage to capture all the objectives within a sector, that sector becomes yours, just as a flag would have in a previous Battlefield game. And the developers have gone for this because the maps are so big and they don't want people to have to feel like they're basically running so far between flags just to get between battles. They want there to be a lot of battles happening around the map, but with enough freedom for people to kind of go and explore and have that downtime of moving between battles as well. I think this is going to be awesome. I think that this is going to almost provide these mini maps within the overall map, and every time you play a map, you could just focus on one sector. So you could become really proficient at playing one sector, basically like someone who's really good at playing a smaller map in another video game. But now you've got all these maps within this big map. I just think it's a great idea. How could it not be a good idea? It's going to allow more battles to be happening across the map at once, and it's going to keep the action high. So definitely a good one here from the developers. Thanks for changing Conquest and giving us more action, because action's great. Next, let's talk about Breakthrough. Breakthrough was a game mode that was introduced for Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, I believe. Didn't play as much of those games because I wasn't as big a fan of the kind of World War II or World War I style of games. I never have been, apart from a couple here and there, like Hell Let Loose and Day of Infamy. But with Battlefield 4, we had Rush. Now, in Rush, you had to, as an attacking team, plant 2 bombs, and then that would push the defending team back. If you were the defending team, you were stopping the attacking team, and it would basically be this push scenario where the attackers would push through the map. If they got all the way to the end, they would win. If the defenders stopped them for long enough, then they would win. Breakthrough came along and basically took that kind of scenario and changed the bomb sites for just objectives that you had to capture. And I believe most people have said that makes the gameplay a lot smoother overall. And if that's the case, then I am completely happy for the developers to be putting Breakthrough in a modern / futuristic style Battlefield game. I always was a really big fan of Rush, so if Breakthrough is as good as people say it was, then I'm happy to see it in Battlefield 2042. Don't think there are any big changes to it, and so currently, Conquest and Breakthrough are our all-out warfare main Battlefield-style playlist game modes that we are going to love and enjoy, we hope. Next, let's move on to the second playlist. This is probably the most interesting one that people are talking about at the moment, and that is Hazard Zone. So currently, this is being described by the developers as a high-stakes, squad-based game mode. That's kind of all they've said about it. The only other small bit of information comes off the back of a question that the devs were asked, and you can see this on their website. They were asked, is Battlefield 2042 going to have a Battle Royale? Of course everyone's asking this question. And they said no, it's not going to release with one, basically. Now, specifically, it's not going to release with one. I think a company like EA are definitely looking into shoving a Battle Royale into Battlefield 2042. They did it with the previous Battlefield games. I think it was Firestorm. Was it called Firestorm? I can't remember. It didn't really do that well. But seeing the success of Warzone and how Activision managed to funnel a BR game into their game and how successful that's been and how popular and how much money it's made, there is no way that EA aren't looking to do that as well. But that's just a side note, because currently on release there is not going to be a Battle Royale game. But the developers have said that Hazard Zone should kind of scratch that itch for those Battle Royale fanatics. So what does that mean? We know that this is going to scratch an itch for Battle Royale players. We know it's going to be high stakes. We know it's going to be squad based. So squad based. This isn't going to be a game mode with 2 teams. This is going to be a game mode where your squad is your team. Like when you play a Battle Royale game. You and your 3 friends, that's your team. You either win or lose just as that team. Which I think is awesome. I love game modes like this. It allows you to have all the impact in the game. You're not playing a massive team where you might do something, but the other 30 players in your team are doing absolutely nothing, sat like in a trench or just behind a door spraying. Your squad is your team. Then they say high stakes. And high stakes could mean quite a lot of things, but typically, and especially in relation to Battle Royale games, high stakes means you have 1 life, or maybe a couple if you can like buy each other back and stuff. But this isn't a Battle Royale. They've said it's not a Battle Royale, so what is it? Well, in a AMA on Reddit with EA Game Changers, which I believe is basically a subset of creators online who who are on YouTube and Twitch, who basically get access to go do like the playtest events for new games from EA. They did an AMA with those guys, and there was quite a few of those guys who came out and said that Hazard Zone is basically going to be Battlefield's version of games like Escape from Tarkov and Hunt Showdown. So if you guys haven't played those games, basically the way they work is you spawn in with your squad or on your own, and then you're going in completing objectives on a kind of Battle Royale style map. But then you're trying to escape. You're trying to get out. So it's get in, complete objectives, get out. And that's the key thing that's different here from a Battle Royale. Yes, you are with your squad. Yes, you have one life, and if you fail, then you're out. But the objective isn't to be the last one alive. The objective is to get the stuff and get out, get to the extraction point. And that's the same for Escape from Tarkov and from Hunt Showdown, even though they're slightly different games. I think this game mode, if it's going to be like this, could fit Battlefield so well. What the actual objectives you're going to be doing and what the kind of the loot or the gains you can get from these missions is going to be, I don't know. But running around the Hazard Zone, I assume, is where you're going to be playing this, in an area called the Hazard Zone, against other players, trying to do objectives, getting into like squad-on-squad battles. It sounds incredible. This sounds like it could be an amazing game mode for Battlefield. And until we potentially get a Battle Royale, I think this could make absolute waves and really be a fun alternative to the all-out warfare playlists that Battlefield's offering. It's really nice to see that the devs are going down a route of trying to get us more game modes. That's all we have on Hazard Zone at the moment, but it's enough to get me hyped, and I'm sure it is for you guys too. Now, the final game mode, in its own playlist, is one that we know nothing about, really. In the trailers and on the website, when they talk about this game mode, they simply just say brackets redacted. Essentially, no info. Now, all they've said is that this will be a love letter to Battlefield fans. And there's quite a few theories that have come out from this as to what this is going to be. I'm going to go quickly through them. The first one that came out was that this was going to be a map editor. It's not going to be a map editor. I don't think it is. That would be awesome if there was a map editor and you could make like maps and stuff. This really stemmed from a rumor that came out because on Steam, when they first put it on Steam, on the store page, it showed as having a map editor in like the in the description or in the features that the game had. And so everyone's like, oh my god, the game has a map editor. That's what it is. But then that got taken away from the Steam page. So I'm more on the side of that was probably just like a glitch. They didn't mean to put it in there. I don't think they're trying to hide anything. I think that it's just not something which is in the game. But how cool would that be? The second thing that people thought it was, and up until yesterday, this is what I genuinely believed it could be. People thought that it was going to be a remake of a game mode which was in Battlefield 2142. Now, Battlefield 2142 was a game that came out quite a long time ago, before Battlefield 3, and it was a futuristic Battlefield game. So this one we're about to get is 2042. 2142 was 100 years on from that, so very futuristic, like loads of mechs and laser guns and stuff. Feels a bit weird for Battlefield, but it was a very popular game, and they had a game mode called Titan Assault, I believe it was called. If it wasn't called that, then let me know in the description. But essentially what this was is you had these Titans, which were these big kind of like airships that you had to attack and defend on different teams. Kind of feels like something from Star Wars or something, but it was a game mode that only featured in that game, obviously because it was the only futuristic game. But people have been thinking that if this is going to be like a love letter to old school Battlefield fans, then maybe this is like where you've got like the first prototype Titan that it's in the sky, and then you have to attack it, and it's only going to be a love letter to people who played 2142, and it's going to be a game mode which they never thought they were going to get back, and it could be pretty cool. And as I said, up until yesterday, that's what I thought this game mode was. But there's been another theory that came out from some people on Twitter. And apparently now people think that this game mode is going to be the rumoured Battlefield Hub game mode. Now, brace yourselves, because this just sounds ridiculous. Apparently, Battlefield Hub is going to be a game mode where you can play old Battlefield maps old Battlefield weapons, old Battlefield mechanics. So I can't remember which Battlefield it was, but there was like a Battlefield where you couldn't prone. There was no prone. And people are saying, oh, you can go back and basically play that Battlefield game, but in Battlefield 2042 with all the mechanics. So you can't prone and you have to use all those weapons and it's going to feel like weird and clunky. This just sounds like, it sounds like a recipe for disaster, but also like it could be incredible. And so this Battlefield hub mode is going to be a mode where you can experience everything that Battlefield is to all those loyal fans. I'm not sure how realistic this could be, but I'm seeing a lot of people really thinking that this is what it's going to be. I don't know how they're going to fit this in the game. I don't know how they're going to be able to manage this as well as updating the rest of the game. Oh, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy if Battlefield Hub is what we're getting. But I think it's going to be one of those two things. It's either going to be Battlefield Hub, where we get access to just loads of different stuff, or it's going to be the Titan mode from Battlefield 2042. I think it's going to be 2142. I think it's going to be one of those two things. Jesus Christ, I'm rambling on about this, but it just sounds incredible. This third game mode could break the internet. It really could. It could be that good. Anyway, you've been listening to me for long enough. That's kind of the breakdown of the game modes I wanted to do today. Hopefully, you guys are as excited as I am. You can tell how excited I am just talking about this game. I can't wait to be able to jump into all-out warfare and just get in the vehicles and have a drive around, jump into Hazard Zone, and get some squad-based game modes going with the high-stakes environment, a complete switch from something like Conquest, and then potentially jumping into Battlefield Hub to go experience some Battlefield 2 action. Man, cannot wait. If you've enjoyed this video, then make sure, as I said at the beginning, you subscribe for more coming very soon. Like the video and comment down below to show your appreciation as well, and get involved in the conversation with me down there over on Twitter as well. Thank you very much for watching. I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.